Filthy Frank's transformation into Joji is truly miraculous. I know that he's been doing it since 2014. I did my research, I looked it up on Wikipedia. But the point is, best source around, am I right, undergrads? The point is, for him to move from being the guy that goes, okay, so I'm just gonna shit in this cake and then I'm gonna eat it, he really earned his title as filthy, didn't he? There's probably like 8.4 million people being like, yeah, that's why, fuck you! Well, yeah, I'm agreeing, alright? Just everyone cool it, alright? And then I won't have to kill anyone with these imaginary guns. Pew, pew. Ooh, 5-year-old weapons, deadly. So, him moving from that to being, I don't know, like an internet Drake. Just some guy that goes like, I'm so angsty, no one understands me, I'm in a pool with really long arms. How did that happen? Well, I know that it was like a small gradual process, but from him to move from that image to that really highlights a fundamental principle in self-help, which is this: the past does not equal the future. You need to really adopt that. Because, and like, look, with a lot of these self-help principles, there's going to be points of your life where you're going, man, I'm killing it, I don't need to know that. All I need to know is how to put 2,000 balloons up, and then I can travel to Antarctica for free. Oh, I didn't bring a jumper, now I'm dead. But there are points in your life where that will make a lot of sense to you. And it should make a lot of sense to you, even when you're winning in life. Nothing makes sense to you while you're winning in life. There's another great self-help saying, which is that when you succeed, you party. When you fail, you ponder. This one is especially in the dumps of your life. This one makes a lot of sense. Because a lot of people, in fact everybody does, it's just how the brain works. There's all these cognitive biases in your head. But one of the main ones is, shut up, George! Before I come in there and fucking get you! Imagine if that's what I did in my spare time. I'm just like, okay, so have a good day and I'll see you next week, guys. Right, time to kick a dog's head! I'm always surrounded by damn dogs these days. You know that in my house currently now I have more dogs than human beings? I'm a tenant to them. I'm just Lionel Hutz being like, the money is good, but the real beauty is you get to stay in the house while they're away. Let's go, guys. Take 20 dogs into the house. Well, anyway, the point is, now we're just going to have to listen to this. This is like doing a motivational speech in a barn where Jesus was born. I understand the struggle now. It's tough being that guy. How did he do so well? If he even existed. Because we're on the net and that kind of shit gets says all the time. What a conspiracy, he did exist. I know, I was alive then. What was I even talking about? Yeah, I vaguely remember. Joji. The past does not equal the future. Now, because you have cognitive biases in your mind, where you think that you are what you are today, so therefore it's just going to be this continual trajectory. You can't imagine. Human beings are really bad at imagining what their life is going to be like in the future. They basically just think like, I'm just going to look like I'm 21 even when I'm 80 years old. And then you reach about 30 and then you go, oh, where did this crow's feet go? Well, that's just going to stay like it is, isn't it? And then you reach 40 and you're like, and then when you're 80 years old, you're basically just a little prune that sits in a wheelchair all day being like, can somebody get me the paper and read it to me? But you don't imagine any of that stuff. You have this vague idea when I say it and you go, yeah, obviously. But while you're thinking about your life in day-to-day recourse, you're not planning your life like that. You're planning your life like you're going to be a 21-year-old your entire life. And that's just one example. The point is, everybody has this idea in their mind of this is who I am as a result of me being here right now. But that's not true at all. The vast majority of your personality, I think in most studies have discovered that it's up to 95% of your personality, has nothing to do with you personally and your DNA. It's memetics. I think that's even where the word came from. You know, where people now say, all the hip kids on the net. Have you heard of something called memes? But the point is that, memes, the original word for it was memetics, which is something that's like DNA, but it's kind of just you've trained yourself to think or behave in a certain way. And then people go like, it's just my genes. But that's not the case. It's just that you were born in Philadelphia, so you think that like, all right, the Philly Red Sox rule. If that's even a hockey team. Is that what you play out there? Is it hockey? Because if it's not, I don't want to know about it. Ooh, sass attack. There's that imaginary pistol again. Gotcha. So, what you need to know is that these ideas have basically been implanted into you as a result of your culture, as a result of the school that you went to, your friends that you hang out with, your family. A lot of the things that you qualify yourself as, that this is you, some of that is, yeah, definitely. But a lot of it has just been imposed on you. Just maybe when you were in year 5, you drew a picture of a cat that was slightly better than everyone else's because you have a cat at home and you're like, oh, I can just imagine exactly what it looks like. 4 legs. Everyone else drew 18. I'm a good artist, right? So you walk up to your teacher and then they go, oh, that's amazing, A+. And from that day on, you think, oh, I'm an artiste. And instantly you grow a little goatee and put a little beret on your head. No, in fact, your hair magically shapes into it. Just goes, Kristen. No, actually, and also, you just smash through a window and you run away and there's this truck that's chasing after you, but the truck doesn't have any sound in it. That also happens. The point is that the teacher said you're a good artist, so your brain registers and goes, I'm good at art. And so you just keep doing it over and over again. And so you actually do become good at art as a result of doing that, because you just practiced it a lot, because random by chance, some teacher went, that's a very nice doodle, Kermit, when you're in year 5. Shit like this happens to you all the time. So a lot of people think that the thing that they are here is just a result of genetics or why they're here. I don't know, like there's like people like, you know, God made me like this, that kind of stuff. A lot of people have those ideas in their mind. And you might not think that you do, but you would in other aspects of your life. So for instance, you might just be like saying that I'm a good swimmer. Yeah, but why are you a good swimmer, cunt? Because you fucking practiced at it. That's why. You just don't remember that. So you just see the good result and go like, I don't know, I just have these broad shoulders for some reason. Yeah, a little bit of that might be DNA. But the thing is that I can guarantee you that somebody who just looks like Wimpy from Popeye the Sailor Man, if they were versing someone who is basically just, my dad was the letter V, so I've got that really broad shoulder thing. That's just how it is. If that guy wasn't practicing swimming, Wimpy, if he was practicing swimming every day, would be better at swimming than the V guy. Unless, of course, his mum was also a stingray. I might have to rethink this theory. Hold on a second. Imagine if I put an intermission in here. And we're back. Yeah, no, definitely the stingray guy would win. What I want you to know, and really take assessment of your life, because a lot of self-help is doing these rigorous, small detail things because it reinvents the psychology in your mind, which gives you a superior edge on everybody else who's just walking through the day just being like, I'm just this tub that's never thought about what I am or where I want to go, and I've got these vague ideas that someday I might buy a house. That's a good goal for 80 years on this planet, and I might paint the house blue. The more you think about your life, like Aristotle was saying, that a life that is reflected upon is a life that's worth living. The more you think about your life, and the more you think about the things that have made up your life to this point, the better the rest of your life is going to be. So the perfect example is Filthy Frank turning into Joji, right? That's a huge shift, clearly. In fact, just go look at any of Filthy Frank's videos. Anything of him just being like, I just vomited on my French face. Now that's filthy. Now to him just being like, just got all these bad feelings inside my head. I'm so confused. One of those songs. And I like both. I'm a fan of both. I think that he's a really talented guy. But the thing is, one of these things is not like the other. Can you guess which one it is? It's clearly these fucking two. They're not similar at all. It does not compute. It's like putting a square peg into a round circle, it is. But it's the same guy. And there's always going to be people that are going to be like, yeah, you're just Filthy Frank. Yeah, I guess. But at the moment he's Joji, and he's killing it in that realm. And you can reinvent yourself like that entirely. Things that you don't like about yourself, to a greater degree than what you think you are capable of, you can change them. In most instances. There might be someone with no legs or arms just sitting there just typing with their shoulders going, you mean I can grow arms? Yeah, sure kid, yeah, definitely. But a lot of your personality traits, a lot of your style, the way that you present yourself, these things can be remastered. So, with that in mind, just put this at the top. This is your homework for today. Just put this at the top of a sheet and I'm really glad about this. There's been more people ever since my stand-up shows. By the way, Hobart's coming up and so is Wollongong. Don't go to Splendour in the Grass. See me dressing up as a 1700s fop talking about Malcolm Turnbull's life. That is going to be way more entertaining than 50 bands and heaps of drugs. What a shit sales pitch. Come see it, please. If you don't, someone else will, and I won't be sad at all. I'll probably get about the same amount of people coming. But those are the people. Look up the dates, I'll put them down. What I need you to do is write up on a sheet of paper, just at the very top of it, just write, how late is this? The past does not equal the future. I want you to write things about your personality, things that you that you think are weak, and things that you want to improve upon. And just understand this idea that if you focus on them, they will get better. In almost everything that you could possibly imagine, bar just trying to become a pigeon man. But even then, I'm pretty sure that you probably could go to a plastic surgeon and go, I can make this work for you. So I want you to write down the things, just 5 things in your personality. It's always 5 or 10. Let's just start with 5 things in your personality, or things that you want to be good at, that you're currently not good at. I want you to start with this very basic roadmap. I want you to write down those things. Say that it's, for instance, I don't talk enough at parties or something like that. And I want you to write after that what you want the action to be. So if it's I don't talk at parties, I'm the life of the party. There is a set of skills that you can read up about right now for free on the net, that if you start implementing them, you will be that guy that wears a Hawaiian shirt that's always diving into the kiddie pool going, oh no, now I'm all wet and I don't care. Ow, that's just me. I'm just like that. You see that? You see that? That's just me. That's the thing. Because you've just been like that for so long, you've hypnotized yourself that this is what you're going to be like for the rest of your life. But if you take notice of something, and then you start taking small actions to correct it, it starts avalanching in on itself, and eventually you completely change that part of your personality. So using Filthy Frank as the ultimate in that regard, I can't think of somebody who's transformed themselves more than that. Maybe someone who's had a sex change and just, in fact, one of those really bizarre sex changes where they're like, I turn my belly button into a vagina, turn my penises into 2 penises so I can fuck 2 people at once. Maybe he has, but still, debatable. Maybe Filthy Frank singing slightly angsty songs is more of a transformation. I'm not here to judge. So, write down what the action is that you don't like about yourself, and then write what you ideally want to be. Then, and this is the most crucial part, 3 steps, then I want you to write down an action that you can take right now towards moving towards that. So for instance, if it's like, I can't talk at parties. So many people have that. That's like the biggest concern people have in their life. Can't talk at parties. You don't even want to be hanging out at parties. You want to be doing shit like us fucking weirdos on YouTube and just sitting in a room all day like the Phantom of the Opera going, oh, I wasted my 20s. I had that realization the other day. What's the price of fame? Oh yeah, talk about it 360. So yeah, but the thing is, the third action is to write down, and I'm going to be doing this myself because it's always be good to take stock of this thing. What is the action that you can take right now so you can get that ball moving? What is the action you can take? So with the I'm not good at talking to people at parties, the first action you can take right now is to Google how to be the life of the party. That's it. Even if heaps of the things that you get there is like, number 1, wear a foam cowboy hat. Don't look at anything on BuzzFeed. Obviously, they're just like, you're just watching an entire archive of the most shit ideas and shittest journalism ever conceived in one room. But, you know, there will be ideas and there will be people that talk about this in length that you could utilize. So that's your homework. 3 steps. I'm not going to bother saying it again. I've already documented that. Now I'm just going to go back and start complaining about the Liberal Party. I think that's my next step for the day. You can't change yourself. Anyway, I'll see you next week.